All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash, double honors to the apostle, elders, the great millstone. Salute on see brothers out there preaching his word, serving truth. Got an article here from Zero Hedge. Prophecies update. Says Von Grayer's ominous military and financial nuclear threats could erupt in 2023. Okay. The world is today confronted with two nuclear threats of a proportion never previously seen in history. These threats are facing us at a time when the world economy is about to turn and decline precipitously, not just for years, but probably decades. All right. Let's talk about nuclear threats and more. All right. Let me grab Matthew 24. What the Lord said will happen in the end days, the end times, before he comes back and redeem his people, Israel, and destroy great Babylon and take all the crowns of the heathen. Start on Esau, Edom, Moab, Ammon, etc. Matthew 24, I'll pass it. Yep. Matthew 24:6. I read in NLT. And you will hear of wars and threats of wars, but don't panic. Yes, these things must take place, but the end won't follow immediately. Okay. And this article say threats, nuclear threats. Okay. Said these threats are, I already read that one. The obvious nuclear threat is the war between U.S. and Russia, which currently is playing out in Ukraine. Well, United States known as Great Babylon, Egypt, Rome, Greece, Sodom and Gomorrah. America is known as those ancient pagan empires because America worships all those deities and believes in the philosophies of those ancient pagan empires that the Lord destroyed. Okay. And the United States is just sending funds over there. They're just sending, their money, their currency over there. They don't have boots on the ground like an actual war, And that's only going to happen when you read Ezekiel 38th chapter. When the U.S. have boots on the ground, it's going to be in the Middle East, okay? And that's what the scriptures call the Valley of Jehoshaphat, Armageddon, okay? Mountain of the troops. The U.S. is always like the last to go in to actually start fighting. That's what happened like in World War I, World War II, But no, this is basically Ezekiel 38. The Lord is putting hooks inside of Russia's jaws and turning itself back to that, that great Soviet Union that they once had, man. And Ukraine was a part of the Soviet Union, so that's why the Lord is making Russia to reclaim that land of Ukraine. Okay, but that's all it is. It's not World War III yet. Okay, but we're coming up upon that time now. Okay, so let me read this again. Matthew 24:6 in the NLT, and you will hear wars and threats of wars, but don't panic. That's the Lord's talking to his elect. Okay, don't panic. Okay, yes, these things must take place, but the end won't follow immediately. Nation will go to war against nation, the kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in many parts of the world. Okay. I said, but all this is only the first of the birth pains with more to come. And birth pains, that Reminds me of the scripture, second Ezra 16. Grab real quick. Coming, yep. Second Ezra 16:37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. Same plagues the Lord was talking about in Matthew 24. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringing forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Let's talk about contractions. Okay? Even so shall not the plagues be slacked upon the earth. So the Lord is comparing a pregnant woman contractions when she's about to birth her son, comparing that to the plagues. Okay? Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. Okay? The beginning of sorrows. So let's go back to this. The other nuclear threat and financial weapons of mass destruction in the form of debt and derivatives amounting to probably 2.5 quadrillion. And I'm sure it's higher. And when Esau finally pulls the plug on this financial system, the hyperinflation will start to set in on you people, man. You ain't gonna know what to do, man. And that's when Second Ezra 15, Second Ezra 16, all them prophecies in that book, in those 2 chapters, that's when it's that's the sorrows, man. That's the beginning of sorrows right there. Because when people can't afford nothing, they're starving. That's when they're gonna take it out on their government officials. And it says that in Second Ezra 15. They're not regarded kings nor princes. All right. If we are lucky, the geopolitical event can be avoided, but the doubt that the implosion of the Western financial time bomb can be stopped. Stop it for what? That's what the elites want to do. They want to put the plug, on the financial system, get rid of the paper money, which is going to hyperinflate it. That's how you get rid of paper money. You hyperinflate it to zero. And they're going to issue in this new digital system of currency. Yeah? And that's going to, the digital system is going to make pathway to the MOTV system, the CHIP. All right? And that's prophecy right there. But the CHIP system is not going to, the dollar has to go first before the CHIP system. The paper fiat currency system has to go first, man. Okay? More about these risks later in the article. There is also a summary of my market views, blah, blah, blah. Basically, read more if you're interested in this article. Okay. So, yeah, we're living in that time of great destruction. Plagues, pestilences, great death, okay, in this society. Because the Lord is coming back to judge this place. All right. So, what's up? I think that might be in the second edition. It's another one, second edition, I believe. It's a war into the world. Yeah, it's 15. Speaking about I'm just read this. 2nd Ezra 15. Start at 12. Egypt shall mourn, which is America, and the foundation is spiritually, America is spiritually Egypt as well. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seas shall fail through the blasting in hell with a fearful consolation. All right, so the Lord's gonna bring the weather that's gonna have not the vegetables flowing, budding or whatever, Lord's doing that bomb cyclone that's going on in California right now. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Woe means destruction, man. Pain. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. Modern day sword is the gun. For there should be sedition among men, and evading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So that's what's coming. In the streets of America, these citizens are going to rise up against the politicians, okay? Because they're going to blame them for all that hell, all this hell. Hyperinflation sets in, you can't afford food. Might be working 3 jobs, still can't afford food. Okay. And they're gonna institute martial law. It's gonna be all hell, man. Okay. So I'm gonna just stop right there. Shalom.